How's it going? My name is AJ, and tomorrow I turn 26 years old. I've been having a lot of different kinds of feelings about that recently, and a lot of reflection as I've had every single year on my birthday. One thing that I wanted to talk about and mention is, it feels like 21 was only just yesterday. And when I was 21, I thought I would be a lot further ahead than where I am right now. Um, 4.5 years ago, when I was 21, I started a job after getting out of a bad job. Um, I started a job working at a company, a lumber company. I had my CDL at the time, and all I could think about was wanting to move forward. And so I worked my butt off. And for the last 4.5 years, I've worked vigorously to become one of the most versatile employees in the entire yard that I worked at. And recently, there was an assistant manager position that opened up, and of course, I applied for it like I've applied for many times before. And this time felt a little different. The company was already making me do everything. At this point, I've stepped down from driving and I moved into counter sales, and I worked at all the different positions you could think of. And I was asked to, on a regular basis, to continue doing these positions. And when I stepped down from driving, I lost about $3 worth of my pay. And that didn't feel right to me, especially nowadays when I'm being asked to be out there doing all sorts of different things. And, finally I felt like, hey, I've made myself the most versatile person I possibly could. Dressed up nice. They had me go in for my assistant manager interview, and I had to perform a presentation, and I just did my best. I practiced for weeks to knock this out of the ballpark, and I really tried my hardest. And leading up to this assistant manager interview, they pulled me aside, had me start managing, doing even more work that they were not paying me for. They had me start managing the customer service team, um, and really just kind of dangling the carrot in front of my face, setting me up to be some sort of manager, right? And it's funny because the company's motto is that they hire from within, that they like to help the employees who put the most effort in and push them forward to step up. And I was going against probably 6 to 7 other candidates. And, there's always bigger fish in the sea, and I completely understand that. And they kept my expectations at a reasonable level, going into it, telling me about the pecking order of who might be selected for what, or maybe has more experience in a certain position over me. And I've already had my quarrels with the company at this point, and to make the story short, I didn't get the job. And they actually hired from with they hired outside of the company to step within the position, and that didn't really sit right with me, and really got me thinking about my future and all this time that I've put in with the company. And it feels like I've worked so hard for nothing, and the only thing that I've gotten out of the entire situation is a reduction in my pay. And looking back, I kind of regret working so hard to try and make myself the best person in the yard. I could have spent so much more time pursuing something that actually made me happy, something that made me genuinely wake up in the morning and say, I want to do this. I'm excited and happy to do this. And so it's been a slow build over the years. I've always wanted to create content and put myself out there. And having been a photographer for the last 10 years, I've tried to, on and off, build a photography website and a business very slowly, and it's been taken away from me in a way, believing that I could work a full-time job and run my side hustle on the side and eventually get into that. I've also made music with my best friend since we were teenagers. And, that's been a blast. I've recorded little music videos, even though they haven't been the best. And we put our music on Spotify, and I've enjoyed the creative aspects of my life far more than going to my 9 to 5 every single day that has really torn down my spirits throughout the years. And I really want to move on from that. I've decided that I'm going to try and find a part-time position, and that I'm going to start working on my business this year, which I did. I founded a business at the beginning of 2026 called Miranda Media Co., and I want to grow it. I've started to learn marketing, how to use AI, and build websites, and all sorts of fun stuff, and that's something that I want to pursue. And so having the extra time to be able to do that is going to be amazing. For the rest of this year, starting on my birthday, I'm going to put more effort into pursuing things that are going to make me happy and things that are going to hopefully benefit me in my future. And so hopefully this is the start of something amazing. I've had a moment like this before, and I got so close to scratching the surface. 4.5 years ago, before I started working at Par Lumber, I quit my job working at another company that was delivering roofing materials. And immediately following that, I jumped in my car, grabbed my camera and my phone that I had at the time, and I took a trip down to Pacific City, and I made a photo vlog. And I remember in that video I was talking about how I finally wanted to step into becoming a content creator and creating online content, following in the footsteps of so many other photographers and people that like to share content. And I was so excited, and I thought it was going to be this big thing, and I didn't push hard enough for it. I started seeing money go away, and I got scared. I started doing DoorDash, and eventually ended up back into what I was tired of being stuck in the first place. I made a video that was the photo vlog that I made, which I can link right here if I still have it up, detailing all of this and putting music behind it and just being funny and creative. About 2 months after that, I made another video of a solo trip. I knew that I was going to be going back into working for a business again, and so I wanted to get out and explore before anything got away from me, because that's what I wanted to continue doing. And I did. I took a three-day trip, and I recorded as much content as I possibly could, and the video that I wanted to make for that never came to fruition. And then, of course, I started working, and it got away from me. I think 2.5 years later, around 2024, I made another video. Right around the same time that I was feeling the same way that I'm feeling now. And I took a trip down to Seaside and Cannon Beach, and I discovered taking photos again was beautiful and amazing, which I can link right here. And that's another time that I told myself that I was going to step in and do this. And again, I backed out, and I stopped making content. So hopefully stepping down into a part-time position and taking on more responsibility to drive my own business further, as well as sharing my life with the world and creating content, and hopefully somebody online finds it entertaining, would be amazing. And so this is all I wanted to do. Tomorrow is my 26th birthday, and hopefully my life will be changing here pretty soon. I hope to bring you all along. Thank you.